I'm pleased to be able to speak in second reading to Bill 2, the Professional Statutes Amendment Act 2010. I agree with much of what the previous speaker has outlined, but I think I disagree with his conclusion. I join my colleague from Edmonton Gold Bar in wondering why we're seeing this bill in front of us. And we can just guess, because it isn't made clear from the sponsoring members' remarks, why we're seeing this. But I do not see the rationale for it. Every one of the two things are going on right now. One, it's not easy to establish yourself as a professional association under our statutes in this province. There's a number of tests, barriers. You have to get over tests that you have to meet in order to do that. And as the previous member has outlined, there is a process, a protocol, and a good reason that we have achieved the state that we have. The government says, okay, if you have to meet certain tests in order to be recognized as a professional occupation in this province. Once you've met that test, and part of meeting that test is that you will establish professional rules of conduct of your members, and further that you will ensure through a disciplinary process, and now in most professions a testing and monitoring process, that you will hit those marks. You will achieve the various requirements, and if you fail to do that, there is a disciplinary body that is included in that, and they're responsible for disciplining their own members. And the government stays out of all of this. Once they've set up the test and the professional organizations met those tests, they've formed themselves, they've set out the guidelines for behavior or for professional achievement, and they have their disciplinary body in place. That's it. The body is left, the professional organization is left to basically carry on its business. And now and part of that business, by the way, is in every statute that I've looked at for any of these professional organizations, a requirement to consult with government, at the very least to notify government if they're going to change anything that they do. So now we see a bill in front of us that essentially, well, it doesn't essentially, it says if these professional organizations are going to change anything, they have to consult with the government. I beg your pardon? Isn't that what they're supposed to be doing already, according to their various pieces of legislation? So what is the purpose in duplicating this? And that's what I was ruminating on for some time, thinking, why is the government wanting to get involved in this? Why are they trying to kind of, sort of hip-check their way into the scene here? And it's not breaking the protocol that's established, but I would argue that it's bending it. And the only specific difference I can see is adding in the requirement of also consulting with the minister responsible for the Post-Secondary Learning Act. But I think even then, I mean, that's where we start to talk about the professional requirements that the organizations have set out that a member must achieve before they become a member. So what I'm hearing, the kind of scuttlebutt that I'm hearing, is that the government has a concern that professional organizations might be bumping up their requirements to keep themselves special and to keep others out. And you think, well, who would they want to keep out? I mean, in this day and age, there's strength in numbers, and certainly since most of these associations are self-funding through the memberships of the membership fees that are paid by their members, why would you want to be smaller and more exclusive? Wouldn't you want to have more members? That gives you more of a budget. So I was really curious as to what this might be about. Now, one of the things that you hear about is that some associations were very resistant, and I'll say this was in the past, to dealing with people who had foreign training or foreign qualifications. And if they could make themselves sort of exclusive enough, they could cut out some of the people that were moving to Canada with degrees from other countries. But I don't think that's the case very much anymore. It might still exist in various pockets, but for the most part, I think everybody's looking around and saying, you know, our membership is getting older, they're getting closer to retirement, we need to rejuvenate. They need those new members coming in. So I don't think that argument is valid if it ever was. So again, why would the government be worried of these organizations might be doing that? And I can't see a reason for it, and I don't think there's a reason for it.